These are jungle boots from the Vietnam War. This particular style was produced beginning in 1968, but the use of jungle boots in Southeast Asia began about 1960, using leftover World War II boots that quickly fell apart in the jungle. Well, that began the search for a better jungle boot, which resulted in what you see here, the ones with the green nylon and leather uppers and molded soles. This pair is part of the fourth generation of boots with these green nylon panels. And that green panel, by the way, pretty much marks this as being from the Vietnam era. Well, at least it always used to until they started getting the reproductions. Now, the military continued to use this same design with black instead of green panels for many years. But several years after the military supposedly stopped using these green boots, I ran into a U.S. Navy sailor wearing a camo uniform and a pair of this style of boot. Well, it turned out that he was part of a special boat unit that works with and transports the Navy SEALs. Now, like everything else, these green boots are being reproduced, but the fakes are missing something. Can you see that? They are missing the little plumber's crack right here. Now, on boots actually made during the Vietnam War, you're going to find this, and I think even the ones made for the military after the war did not have the plumber's crack going on there. On the side of the boots are two brass screens to, I guess, let the boots breathe and to let the water drain out. This being a boot designed for crossing flooded rice paddies in small rivers. Now, these have a nice patina on them, if you can see that, and really that's, gives some signs of age on this, that beautiful little patina. These are 50-year-old boots. The soles on these boots have a pattern designed to shed mud. You can see how wide all of that is. The first version sole was based on a mountain climbing boot and could get clogged up or lose traction. You figure, if you can't get rid of the mud, this whole thing is just going to be slick with mud here. So this is called the Panama Soul, and it does shed the mud. This one is in pretty nice condition. And, I should mention, this one has a very important thing in it. It has the spike prevention plate. There were a growing number of wounds among soldiers in Vietnam who stepped on the, what do they call them, the punji stakes, the poisoned sticks buried in the ground in a hole in the boot. They go right to the bottom of your boot. So they put the anti-spike plates into these. This pair of boots belonged to a U.S. Army colonel who was in Vietnam and Laos at a time most Americans didn't even know the name Vietnam. He had an interesting career path in the Army, CIA, Air America, and the State Department with some overlap. But you really can't tell that by looking at the boots. They're very nice boots in very good, excellent condition, really. And he did obviously wear them, but they don't tell the story. Now, I did have a pair of boots a while back that tell quite a story. So here's some Vietnam War combat boots with the actual red dirt accumulated as the wearer. Richard Nixon Communications Director Herb Klein led a delegation to Vietnam and Cambodia in a 1970 presidential fact-finding mission. On the USMilitaryForum.com, I asked about the red dirt, and they did indeed visit the 1st Brigade 25th Division, which was operating, it turns out, in the Fishhook region of Cambodia. The division had a forward command post near Khatum, which was just south of the border. And apparently that's where the red dirt came from, a forward command post in the Vietnam War. I also had an indoor flea market booth, and a retired Marine colonel who did several tours in Vietnam came by my booth and looked at the boots and said, "Oh, Cambodian dirt." So, interesting little bit of history there. Krusty Bob over and out.